Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bachiru. So in this video, I want to talk about Under Night in Birth 2. This video will not be organized in a specific way or heavily edited in any way. Just like a little bit sloppy because that's a reflection of the game. A little bit, but we'll talk about it later in details. So I just want to share my thoughts about the game and just tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've been really looking forward for Under Night in Birth 2. It's my most anticipated fighting game above everything else, and when I played the open beta on PlayStation, I was very happy. I feel like the gameplay aspect is perfect, but a lot of things need to be worked on. But let's jump into it. So let me just switch my scenes really quickly. So when it comes to game modes, I feel like the game is not really catered for people who want to play fighting games casually, because there is basically very little incentive to play the game on your own or just, messing around. Like, if you don't want to really to learn the game and dig into the competitive or the online aspect of this game. Even the online mods, to be honest, in my opinion, are bare bones in compared to today's standards. But French Bed is a small studio and they're not charging you full price for this game, so I'll just let it slide for now. So if you're someone who just wants to play the single player and discover things and have some fun mods, you wouldn't find it in here. But if you're someone who started maybe, let's say, with Guilty Gear Strive, or you started with the Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and you just want to see what the genre has to offer more in depth, I feel like this game does a really amazing job at that one. Because if you go to the learning tools of the game that teaches you how to play the game and how to play the character, they're very much in depth. So I have to give them huge props, for example, for the tutorial mode of this game. It teaches you everything from movement to terminologies, and it all goes all the way until very specific stuff from A to Z, like every single mechanic, how to deal with situations, the specific matchup stuff. I've done this in the previous Under Night in Birth games, so for this one I feel like it's the same, but they're introducing some of the few new stuff in it. This is worth the time. It can be a little bit intimidating, but it has everything you need to learn the game. So it's a resource that you don't need to go out of side of the game to actually just learn how to play the game. So for this one, they get a huge props from me. Also, the mission mode that teaches you how the combos of your character. It goes from everything super simple until super advanced combos, and I feel like not only it does that, it lets you repeat specific sections of a combo, so you understand that this is part of your bread and butter, and it gives you enough time to have muscle memory to learn how to play your character basically. The other thing also, what they added in this game is there is immediately some coaching about your character. So it teaches you basically some of the characteristics of your character, and what are the best buttons, for example, which button to use in which situation. And if you're struggling with some of the challenges, for example, you can actually just let the replay for you, so you can actually just learn how it's done. I feel like this is an excellent tool on how to learn your character. So let's say, for example, that this combo looks really intimidating for me. I can basically just watch a replay to learn how to do it. If also I'm struggling in a specific part, there is a specific feature in this game that lets you replay a combo automatically, then you can take over. So you can actually just continue the combo from the area that you struggle. Or maybe you want to practice a very specific section of the combo. So you just don't need to do all the simple stuff that you know already. So this exists also. And for me, I feel like the learning tools in this game is very, very, very excellent. What also leads me to the next point. The training mode in this game is pretty amazing, to be honest. I feel like it's some of the best in any fighting game, because it's the usual stuff in addition to additional recording situations, additional scenarios. So if you want to learn this game, the training mode is excellent, to be honest. So you have damage counters, you have frame data already implemented, so you don't have to do guessing or go to wikis to understand which attacks are advantageous. So the learning mechanic, the learning tools in this game are excellent. But let's talk about the game, because you're coming here to play. The gameplay systems in here are, to be honest, very in-depth, very excellent, and very freeform. I feel like player expression in this game is so amazing. You can play the same character in so many different ways, and there's a variety of characters which I failed to mention. This game feels from a gameplay standpoint, for me it's perfect. everything, like from the characters to the system mechanics to the combo system to the defensive mechanics, which I'm really a big fan of. It all complements well. So this is a 4-button fighting game. So you have the A, B, C, and you have D, which is basically what we call, I think it's a Vorpal. I'm not good with terminologies. And you have different gauges that you need to manage. So let's go to the big one. Yeah. So you have usually like your super meter gauge, which fills up to 200. This allows you to do like super moves, for example. On the other hand, you have a meter in the middle, it's called the grid gauge. So depending on how you move, if you're defensive, you lose part of it, but if you're offensive, you gain more part of it. You can charge it with D, for example. And this allows you like to have like a tug of war mechanic in the middle of a match. My camera unfortunately is covering it. So what we're gonna do is just gonna move your boy Bachiru a little bit up here. Just to talk about it properly, yeah. Okay, so that's basically it. So there are cycles to this grid. So if you win the cycle itself, you can go into something called Vorpal. And you can do something called change shift. So change shift, if you played Blaze Blue or Guilty Gear, it's like the rapid cancel mechanic, or the like, which basically allows you to cancel your move into another move. And this is excellent in some situations, just to gain advantage. It also gives you a damage bonus. And I think in this new version, it allows you like to have additional like properties. So if, for example, the more grid gauge you have, it allows you like to gain the whole thing immediately. When it comes like to using shielding, for example, which is basically it allows you to push away your opponent. Also, if your like opponent manages to break it while you're using this shield mechanic, your grid gauge breaks, so they're always getting the advantage until a certain specific period. So there is like a whole mechanic covered about that one. I'm not an expert in Under Night, so I don't feel like I'm the best person to talk about this mechanic. But basically what you need to understand that this grid mechanic, it's like a big part of this game. And keeping an eye on it all the time actually is one of the crucial ways like to level up in this game and to take advantage of it. So I'll just give you like a quick example like how you can use it. Let's say for example you're pressuring your opponent. You can do this for example just to like gain an advantage. Let's say for example you messed up and you did like an unsafe move like that. Then this is actually advantage. Let's say for example you did this and you forget to cancel. You can do this for example just to get back like to neutral state. So for example, you want to extend your pressure. So you can do this, for example. So there's a whole thing going on with this game for the grid mechanic. And for me, I'm a big fan of it. I like the button fighting games. You can use it both for offense and for defense. The combo system also in this game is really freeform because you can cancel on hit basically any button into any button, for example. So for example, you can do ABC, you can do BA, BAC. So for people who play anime fighting games, this is mostly familiar. And if you played PB Tag, you would understand that Under Night and Birth characters used to play that way. But in this game, it's much more expanded on. So this is also applicable in offense and in defense. So for example, you can extend like that. So it allows you to cancel, for example, like your slower attacks into quicker ones just to extend your pressure, for example, or to reset your pressure. So for me, the combo system is also really great. All the characters have a lot of moves, like special moves, command normals, a lot of things that you can cancel into. Movement options is also great. Some characters, they have more dashes than others. So the gameplay aspect of this game is really, really covered, to be honest, and I give them a huge props for it. So for example, this is just like a very simple combo. Okay, I messed it up, but you get the idea. So if you want to go like more in depth for the combos, for example, you can really express yourself in this game. And for me, I'm a huge fan of the gameplay aspect, and I give them a huge props for that. But let's start now talking about the things that I don't like. Some of them are like minor, nitty gritty, you know, which basically are silly, to be honest. But there are things that, in my opinion, I feel like they messed up, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Under Night and Birth 2, it's 2 games, to be honest. It's a game on the PlayStation, and it's a hot garbage on PC. I've waited maybe a couple of days before I actually even opened this subject, but the PlayStation version is perfectly fine. It plays well, everything works great. the PC version is garbage, hot garbage, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. Uh, the online barely works. They've been diligent to work on fixing it, but until now, and it doesn't function properly, to be honest. You cannot, I think my daughter just woke up. Yeah, it, it doesn't function properly. You cannot like play matches properly. It keeps disconnecting. The success rate of you connecting to matches is like 1 in, I don't know, 1 in 20. The searching takes long. What they call it, like the connection indicator is all messed up. They've been diligently working on it, but releasing a game in this state at this time, it's pretty unacceptable, to be honest. And for me, I'm pretty surprised. Like, for example, here, if you see like the connection indicator, it's like 999 millisecond. Like, I'm not playing with someone on the moon, for you to be this messy. When I'm playing this game, especially on release, it was unplayable. Now, 2 days later, you can at least get into matches. And before it was even region locked, yani. See this loading, for example. Okay. I'm just waiting. I'm praying that it will connect. 9 times out of 10, this is the error that we're getting. Come on. I've paid money for this game. I feel like this was the same case with Type Lumina, and I feel like they're repeating it again, so I feel like they don't really care about the PC version, or it hasn't been tested. So I hope that this is something that can be rectified soon, but I don't want to dwell too much into it. My recommendation, basically, if you're playing on PlayStation, get the game ASAP. It works perfectly fine, and this is an amazing game that should be supported. If you're playing on PC, just hold on a little bit before you buy it, because in its current state, it's quite unacceptable. Unless you want to play training mode and you want to go compete in tournaments, but this is not 2010 anymore, so they really need to step it up. So yeah, guys, that's basically it for now. I'm loving the game, to be honest. I'm just not loving the PC version. So hopefully this will be fixed soon. As always, guys, if you enjoy this content, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Yalla, peace.